Carl here again from the AAEC forum. Richo71 is the avatar. Review time again. This came to me from Keith and Kirsty at vapegear.co.uk. Thanks again, Keith and Kirsty. Sent on to me free for review, and it is the UD Aga T7. Now I've had to hold off a little bit on the review for a couple of days because I've had a few slight problems in setting this up, and I've had a few issues with leaking out the centre and stuff, and I spoke to a couple of people about it. I spoke to Keith about it, and then I messaged Todd as well, because I know he's just recently had one. But I've got it working. I've had it working for over a day now, and with no leaking issues. And I'll run through that as I go through the review. So, slide the open box again, similar to the W7 that I did the review later on that, with the QR check code on there, and your scratch authenticity label. Nice packaging, and it's a open flap box. A few features inside, a few features written down. Tank system, great taste, dual coils, huge vapor, adjustable bottom intake, air hole, spare parts kit, and that is around the back. So we'll take the thing out first. We'll take the atomizer out first, and then we'll put that to one side. And around the back is a manual and an Allen key, and you can get it out. Spare parts kit in there. There's some O-rings, bit of eco wool, bit of wire, and one spare screw, which is a bit mean. Could have done with a couple of spare screws really, because four posts in this, but spares kit anyway. So we'll leave the Allen key out because that's needed. The manual's pretty, just tells you about, it's pretty basic, just tells you about the parts and stuff like that. So we'll put that to one side, put the box away. Now this is, or has been, for me anyway, when I first got it, a pain in the arse. I was putting juice in and it was coming out straight out the bottom, but we'll get onto that in a bit. So it is a 304 grade stainless steel tank system, and it's got a Pyrex glass tank. The height of it is 62.5 millimeters, and the width is 22 mil. It's a 22 mil ATI. 510 connection on the bottom with a brass. That's brass, that is. That screws out as well. It's got. We'll take it from the top. Got quite a few parts in this. It's a top filling as well. So we'll unscrew that. I've just washed it out, so we're not going to. It's going to be a bit wet in places. Now, top cap. I'll just be careful of the top cap. The O-ring drops out. It does on mine anyway. It's a top cap. That's the fill hole there, and undo the fill hole with this Allen key. So we'll take that out. It's just a grub screw. Put that to one side. So yeah, nothing really to say about the top cap. That keeps the Pyrex glass tank in place. We'll take the outer tank off. threading is very good on this, by the way, very, very good. That's got an O-ring in the bottom because the glass tank sits on there. That's the glass tank, by the way. It's quite a thick one. Obviously that sits on there like that, on that O-ring, and then on the other O-ring at the top. It does strip down into quite a few pieces, this T7. That's the inside of the tank system. It's a bit K-Fun-esque type. Now, before I strip this, take this off, on here, if you make them out, there are tiny little channels. Let me just get my little pointer. There are tiny little channels. One here, one there, one there. There's 4 around there. That's where the juice gets onto the wicks. So we'll take this off. This centre post does come off this tank as well, but I'll just take it off all in one piece. There's a little O-ring underneath there as well. O-ring on there, that's the inside of the chamber. All stainless steel. Now, I'm not going to do a build on this. I've already built it pre-review because it uses dual coils. And it uses dual coils that sit one above the other with a centre air hole shooting straight up. Now that's the inside. It's a 4-post. You see them juice channels now? There's one there, one there, one there, and another one on the opposite side there. This is gonna. I've got marker coils, and I'm going to use marker coils and cotton. And I'll talk about how to get this working in a way that it's not going to leak on you in a second. We'll just go through the posts first. So as you can see, it's got 2 posts higher than the other 2. Now what you've got is there's 2 insulated posts there. One's a tall one and one's a short one. So what you've got is you've got a tall positive and a short positive. So you've got a short positive to a short negative, and a tall positive to a tall negative. That's to enable you to coil evenly, one above the other. So on this coil here, there's 2 coils in there, 2 marker coils, if you can see it on my camera. One's going from the short positive, the below coil is going from the short positive post to the short negative post. And the top coil is coiled from the longer positive post to the longer negative posts. So your coils sit, I'll show you, one on top of the other with a bit of a gap in between. That's that. Now there's an airflow ring at the bottom. You just open it up. It's the airflow hole. Now with my SpongeBob ruler, just as an approximation, it's about yeah, it's about just over 3 mil. It's an elongated air hole, by the way. It's 3 mil by 1 mil, 1.5 in depth, and there's 2 of them. Now if we take this bottom part off, it screws off, That's the inside, which is it looks to me like it's gold plated. It's gold plated stainless, I would say. It's a guess. It could be gold plated brass. That to me looks like gold plated. Can't find anything where it states if it is or not. So, you know, but it does look like a gold plating to me. And then this is the air chamber at the bottom, or a reservoir where the juice can drip down to if you've got any excess juice that goes down the air hole. It all collects in that tank at the bottom. And then the 510 pin pushes out of there, and that's got a little insulator in. There's a spare insulator in the pack for that as well. So that is slightly adjustable. You can adjust that out slightly once it's screwed on to here, which I'll screw it on now. Screw it on there, and then you can undo. Let's get a screwdriver. You can screw it up till it's nice and tight, and then you can also unscrew it slightly, but not too much, so it sticks out a little bit more. So it is a slightly adjustable bottom pin. Let's go take that back off again. This airflow ring does pull off there, so you can, for cleaning and stuff. This strips down quite well for cleaning. Everything virtually strips off it. That's the only bit you're going to be left with, which is that bottom deck. We'll screw that back on. Now these coils on here, 28 gauge canthal, 7 wraps on each, and it's a it's a 0.74 reading on my ohms meter. I've used it a bit, so yeah, 0.71 on the ohms meter. So I'll leave it on there for the time being. Now, the issue I had when I first had it was, I built it, but I didn't build it with it. I thought, oh, I'll just do a single coil. So I just did one single coil with a silica wicking, and cut the wicking off level with the inside of the chamber, and put the wicking to the bottom of the liquid channel. Built it up, filled it through the top, which is this, with a needle bottle, and the juice cup just come pouring straight out of the bottom, straight out of the air holes, come pouring straight out of there. Now obviously the juice was going down the centre air channel, it was going down the channels of the tank, down the centre air channel, and pouring out through here. As I wasn't, you know, I was using a gauge, you know, a syringe through the top cap, so I wasn't forcing air into it by and keeping the air in there by using a needle bottle, and just kept squeezing it in. But I couldn't see why it was leaking all the time, because the air channels were anyway. To cut a long story short, I dismissed everything on the deck, built a dual coil up, put cotton wick in it, packed it out with cotton, and it's been perfect ever since. So for me, and my personal opinion is, although you could use a single coil in this theoretically, because there's 4 juice channels, you can't every time you have a vape, or if you're forcing, when you fill the juice tank up, because there's no cotton wicking in there, it's just letting too much juice into the chamber, and it's just going down the centre air hole and out the air holes. So I wouldn't recommend single coils in this at all anyway. It is a dual coil setup, but I thought I'd just do a single coil. But anyway, that's by the by. I'm going to put some cotton on this now, and then we'll see how it vapes. So I've got some organic cotton wool, and just need a little bits. That might be too much. And just roll it up. I think we're all used to this by now. What I'm going to do is going to do the bottom one first. And get it through. Need the tweezers really, I think. Can't believe I haven't got any tweezers. Let me just roll that up a little bit more there. Right, with cotton as well, as I keep saying, less is more. That's better. That's better. So we're pulling this through now. So it just get nice and take that excess off there. So what we're going to do here is put that one in, then we're going to cut it. I'm going to cut it just, you can see, so you left yourself with, you know, a little tiny, not too much outside the tank, and the same on the other side. So what we've got is about that much length, probably a little bit less than that actually, the other side. About that much length either side of the tank. And then what we do is shove this in. And round the side, down the sides. But what I do is, that's how it's shoved in. Get one of these little tiny screwdrivers or something and just poke it down the channel. So you don't want to block up them channels with cotton. You want that cotton to be at the bottom of the, right on the bottom of the deck, at the bottom of the channel itself. So that's one. Get another piece. Just ready to roll. And we'll do this one straight through. Just pull it so it's not too tight in there. Excuse me while I go off camera. Just twist. Just do a twist and pull. Then what we do again is we cut off about that much again, and then shove the cotton down. You want this cotton just at the bottom, right at the bottom of the water, of the channel, the liquid channel. You can spread it out when it's down there as well. Just spread it out so it covers the deck, but keep that channel, keep some wick at the bottom of that channel. So it looks like that inside now. All the channels, the wick ends are at the bottom of the channel. And what we'll do is we'll, where's my cherry pie? Juice it up Just put a little bit of juice on these wicks. You want massive amount of juice on there. Take it off. My ohms meet it. And we just go build it up. First bit you put on is your K-Fun-esque style chimney. Screw that on. Sure it's tight-ish. Then the outer tank section. Screw that on. Threads are very nice. What happens as well now is your liquid flows down this centre channel here, and then around the chimney, and then down them channels. So it's like this is a reservoir at the top, and every time you take a vape on it, pulls juice down through them channels onto them wicks. So it's like this is a reservoir and that's a dripper at the bottom. That's how it seems to me anyway. Put your glass, I always put the glass tank on inside the top cap, and then marry the two together, and then screw. Don't get it too tight, just till it's snug, and that's it. Now, how I've been filling this is, what you don't want to do is get one of these needle bottles like that and then just pump juice in like that, because all you're doing is air needs to escape as you're putting juice in, because there's air in that tank now. And if you pump these juices in like that, if you keep pumping that juice in there, that's blocking the hole up. There's nowhere for the air to go, and I think that's you've just forcing all the juice down through the juice channels. What I do as well is I keep that air hole closed while I'm filling, and I fill it like a K-Fun, but obviously the K-Fun's filled from the bottom, but I fill it like on a horizontal till I get a bubble at the top here. Juice capacity on this, it says it's 1.5 mil. Now it's more than 1.5 mil. Let's take that off then. More than 1.5 mil. I'm putting probably 3 to 4 mil in this, so I'll measure out. What have we got here? There's 2. Alright, 3 mil there. Give it a wipe. There's what? 3 mil in there. What I do, stick the needle in, and I fill this up on a horizontal like that, just slightly off horizontal. Just slowly put the liquid in. We'll get that. So yeah, that was 3 mil, so it takes a little bit more than that really, to be honest. Another 1.5 mil there. Just till you get little bubble. That's it. Little bubble at the top there now. And then put your grub screw back in. Whilst the air bubble's still there. That's just how I do, it's just how I filled it with experience of using it over the last few days. As you can force too much juice into that. Dripper section at the bottom, and then lift it up. Just wipe the top of that. So that's what you've got. Now I haven't opened the airflow rate at the bottom yet. Now what you've got there is what I would call a reservoir here that feeds this dripper section down here, and obviously the vapour comes up through the middle, through the chimney. And it's been pretty good vape wise, just that I had problems filling it in the first instance. Drip tip, I had problems keeping my juice in that tank. It's very specific. Drip tip is just a fatty drip tip, which looks quite nice on there, which was from can't remember where that was from actually. I think it was Grey Haze. I think they sell one so very similar to that. I'm going to put it on my Astro clone. I'm going to make sure that my 510 is screwed up properly. Yeah, because the Astro clone is has a floating centre pin. Screw it on. Got a freshly charged AWIMR in there. That's how it looks on the Astro clone. That's an 18500 mode. And we'll open up the air holes. So here we go. Now I've got half open. A bit too much juice on the coils at the moment, so it's a case of we'll open that airflow right up. See, it's getting there now. Lovely. I need to reduce my nicotine level down for these bloody big bore drippers. I tell you. Now, you see, whew, very nice. Yeah, it's a good tank. I personally, myself, I wouldn't go out and buy another one, mainly because it's something you could just buy one of, and then that's it really for me personally, because it's got, you got to take that around with you. It's a top filling Allen grub screw that needs to be in there. It does leak from time to time, even with the build I've got in there. It does get a bit of juice in the bottom. What you could do is take in that bottom reservoir is put a little bit of cotton in there to soak up some of the excess juice that comes through the channels. It's leaked a little bit now, just you know, I might maybe just overspill that, but if you don't put enough cotton in the bottom of that deck, that sort of dripping deck, it can just flow straight through the channels, and then build up and then go down the air hole, the centre air hole, and then which inevitably comes out of these side air holes at the bottom of the tank, which I've had on a couple of occasions. So, and I find that because it's built on air pressure in there, and the reservoir sits on top of this dripper and sits on top of them channels, that if it's in your pocket moving about, it moves the air about inside and forces more down, even though you're not vaping it, and that's been an issue for it coming out of there. So I've been sort of closing the air holes up on it, closing the air holes off on it, so it doesn't come out of them air holes if it does start to leak. But I can't be any fairer than that really with the tank. I have had a few problems with it. Some people may not have these problems. I have had these problems with the leaking and making sure there's enough cotton in there to soak up the juice. I may be putting too much in the tank because he says 1.5 mil, but if you only put 1.5 mil of juice in there, that tank's not going to be nowhere near full. So what's the use of the tank system at the top? I don't understand. If it's only 1.5 mil, I could put quite a lot of juice in the W7 without a tank. You know, I could put 40 drops in the W7. I could put 30-40 drops in any of these new style drippers that are coming out with these deep juice wells. So if you can't get, you know, there's quite a bit of space in there, and that's 3.5 mil. So, you know, I don't understand that it says it's only 1.5 mil. So if I am putting too much juice in and it's forcing too much juice through them channels because there's too much juice in the top, I don't know. So sorry, it's been a bit of a long review, guys. I just needed to speak through what I'd gone through with regards to the leaking issues. We'll take another toke and then we'll wrap it up. Lovely. But it does have great flavour. When it's working well. It's one of these atomizers where when you coil it well and it's working well and you're not getting no leaking out the air holes, it's perfect. Flavour, vapour, everything. But from time to time it does let too much juice through them channels onto the bottom deck, and then obviously fills up and then drips down the centre air hole and out of the air holes at the side at the bottom. So thanks for watching, guys and girls. Thank you again, Keith and Kirsty, for sending this on to me free for review. That's my review of it. Like I said, I've called it with dual coils, dual marker coils, 0.7 ohms, cotton wick. I haven't tried any other wicking apart from I did one single coil when I first had it with silica, which didn't work. Too much juice comes through the channels. But apart from that, it's a good atomizer, not one of the best, or not on a par with a K-Fun in my opinion. It's taking remnants of the K-Fun with the chimney and stuff. The K-Fun doesn't leak. For me, it's never leaked. you just get a bit coming out the air hole when you filled it sometimes, but apart from that it doesn't leak. This has been leaking on me on a regular basis really. Even with the build I've got in now, it does leak from time to time, and you can't really carry it about. I haven't been able to anyway. It's sort of pull it out your pocket and you've got a bit of leaking coming out of the air holes. So whether I'm doing something wrong, I don't know. Message me guys on the forum or on the comments at the bottom if I'm doing something wrong, or you see something in the video that I may be doing wrong, but I can't get it to stop leaking from time to time. But when it isn't leaking, it's fine, atomised, it's fine, it's great. But thank you very much for watching, guys and girls. I'll see you again in the next review. Thank you.